There's a certain hunger within every individual that compels them to be the best possible player that they can be. There's a certain competitive drive that comes from not being satisfied.
You attack them right in their face! Right in their face! 2800!
As a running back, you have to be hungry every time you touch the ball.
Gotta be hungry in there, you gotta be hungry!
Tighten up, defense! Tighten up now!
You have to be hungry to play the game. You have to, want to be one of the best.
Everybody look each other in the eye and make one damn commitment to yourself that you're all going to get it done. Everybody.
The relentless, head-on, full-tilt world of the NFL can be a constant struggle. Every week, players are faced with new obstacles and challenged to clear new hurdles. Those who are saddled with adversity must be willing to pay the price to beat the odds. But there are only a select few who are able to answer the call, to fight back when they appear to be counted out. These are the NFL's hungriest men. They possess a special hunger for the game that can drive long-shot players toward superstardom and long-shot teams toward contention.
Aikman back to throw, plenty of time, deep ball. Got Irvin down the left sideline. He caught it at the 20. Cowboys touchdown.
It is a hunger that helps quarterbacks master air supremacy and keeps young receivers diving headlong for greatness. It is a hunger that can turn underdogs into champions. And throughout the 1990s, thousands more will try and beat the odds and rise to true greatness in the never-be-satisfied world of the NFL.
There's so many guys that are gifted with great athletic ability, but it takes a lot more than that once you get into this game. And I think the guys that make it are the guys that are more hungry.
My name.
In 1990, the surprising New York Giants overcame tremendous adversity and rode off as football's ultimate winner. But throughout the season, there were several other teams that displayed the hunger to pull together in the toughest of times. In Chicago, Mike Ditka's Bears trudged through a disastrous 1989 season, but 1 year later, the Bears ignored 1990's stormy forecast by winning their division title. And they clinched it in Week 13 when running back Neil Anderson lined up at wide receiver in overtime against the Lions.
Anderson is split wide to the right. Harbaugh takes the snap from Hilgenberg back to throw. Harbaugh winds up, heaves the right side for Anderson over the top. Touchdown! Bears win!
Great route by Neil Anderson in stride for the winning touchdown. All right.
Anderson wasn't the only player to come to his team's rescue in 1990. In Week 9, Joe Gibbs' Redskins trailed by 17 points in the fourth quarter at Detroit, but with time running down, 33-year-old backup quarterback Jeff Rutledge engineered the NFL's most unlikely comeback of the season.
Rutledge on the draw, back up to the 5, he's diving, touchdown, Washington Redskins. Whoa, unbelievable.
What a storybook finish here.
I can't believe it.
The Redskins' incredible overtime victory helped propel them to the playoffs. In Seattle, Chuck Knox's Seahawks nearly made the playoffs when they righted themselves following an 0-3 start, and Seattle's hunger to beat the odds was never more evident than in Kansas City, where Seahawks quarterback Dave Craig ran head-on into Chiefs linebacker Derek Thomas.
Come on, Derek, run it down.
Thomas dropped Craig for an NFL record 7 sacks, but Craig refused to give in. And with Seattle trailing by 6 points, the determined quarterback finally escaped Thomas's grasp on the game's final play.
Thomas is there. He slipped away from Thomas. Craig back, throws it.
Touchdown! Touchdown Seahawks! It is caught in the end zone! The Seahawks are going to win the ball game as Skansy got it!
Unbelievable.
Seattle's remarkable comeback in Kansas City wasn't able to derail the Chiefs' playoff run, thanks to a gutty performance from football's oldest starting quarterback. When Steve DeBerg suffered a broken finger on his left hand in Week 15, it appeared that his finest NFL season may have come to an abrupt halt. But sporting a special splint, the 36-year-old DeBerg doggedly led the Chiefs to victory the following week in San Diego, clinching Kansas City's first playoff berth in 4 years.
Back to pass to Berg. Look out for the blitz. DeBerg throws it as he is hit. The pass go to the near side, McNair. The 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. He's in for a touchdown.
DeBerg was just one of several players who in 1990 were hungry enough to overcome the odds, but only one team had enough of these men to become a champion. In 1990, the New York Giants proved that sweat and blood could take you further than flash and dash. They proved that a strong heart was more important than a pretty face. And under head coach Bill Parcells, they proved that in the new age of wide-open, high-tech football, a team can still go far with basic fundamentals.
Hey, you got them just where you want them. They're ready to quit. We just run for 2 first downs, and we keep giving them a holding penalty. Now get in the game, man. Run with power. Run with some power. See some power, Jumbo.
Power football. Parcells preached it, and the Giants lived it.
Half the starter steps, 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
Power running was complemented by the precision passing of Phil Simms, the NFC's top-rated quarterback. And of course, there was the Giants' trademark blue-collar defense, with Pro Bowlers Pepper Johnson and number 56 Lawrence Taylor leading the charge for the NFC's #1 ranked unit. No defense was more intimidating, and none had a greater appetite for the big hit or the big play.
Now that's it coming. Aikman back inside the 5, throws, tipped high, intercepted by Taylor, he'll score! Oh, Lawrence, the magician.
The Giants consistently mystified their opponents and rode to a 10-0 record, the best start in franchise history. But a dream season soon turned into a nightmare for New York. A Monday night loss in San Francisco was the second of 2 straight defeats, and questions of how good these Giants really were loomed even larger 2 weeks later, when Phil Simms was lost for the season with a broken foot. Doubters declared that New York's race for a championship was over. The Giants limped into the playoffs without their starting quarterback. New York needed someone to step in and keep alive the team's hunger for a championship. Enter backup quarterback Jeff Hostetler, a 7-year veteran who had waited patiently on the sidelines for an opportunity to prove himself as a starter. And in the playoffs opening round against the Bears, Hostetler and the inspired Giants silenced the critics who had counted them out.
They said the Giants were dead.
Hey, they said we were done, baby.
Hey, I don't understand them.
They stuck a fork in us and said we were done.
Hey, San Francisco, they're back. We're back.
They're back.
You thought we wasn't real, didn't you? This is real, boy. NYG.
Got one more?
One more.
Nobody thinks we can win, you know. Oh, they didn't give us a chance in this one.
Even fewer people gave New York a chance to win in San Francisco, but the Giants were determined not to make the 49ers' 3rd straight road to the Super Bowl an easy one. In a game dominated by defense, the Giants' Leonard Marshall delivered the greatest blow. Marshall knocked Joe Montana out of action. And with the Giants trailing by 1 point in the final minutes, Lawrence Taylor stepped forward for the most critical fumble recovery of his career, setting up New York for a final drive toward the Super Bowl in Tampa.
All right, baby. All right, baby. We're a minute away from Tampa Bay, baby. A minute away. A minute away, baby. Come on, baby.
In 2.5 minutes, a gutty Jeff Hostetler led New York on a dramatic march. And with 4 seconds remaining, the Giants were a Matt Barr field goal away from the Super Bowl.
Fans are on their feet and screaming. Ball will be spotted at the 32. Snap, spot. Kick is away. It's got the distance. It is good.
Yes, most people said it couldn't be done. Yet the underdog Giants earned an unlikely trip to Super Bowl 25, and it was there, against the favored Buffalo Bills, that New York re-emphasized its belief in fundamental power football. The Giants proved that superior talent can indeed be beaten by sheer guts, desire, and most of all, by a hunger to reach beyond one's limits.
Snap throws, complete. He's got Ingram for maybe a first down. He'll try to the 20. Yes, he's got it. What effort.
The Giants and Bills dazzled fans with the greatest Super Bowl ever. New York led by a single point in the final minute, and Buffalo drove toward a potential winning field goal. But the Bills eventually ran out of time and ground.
1 point lead if you just clicked on the radio. 8 seconds to go. Giants on top. The ball will be spotted at the 37-yard line. Snap, spot, in the air. It's got the distance. It is no good.
Bill Parcells' final season as Giants head coach may also have been his finest, as he and his team were living proof that while the most talented teams may grab the headlines, it is the hungriest team that will most often grasp a championship.
Four-man rush. Aikman stands, throws it wide open. Touchdown, Doral Johnson.
I don't really think there's any place like Texas across the country when it comes to football. I mean, I grew up from junior high on in Oklahoma, and I thought football was taken pretty seriously down there. And it's nothing like it is in Texas. It's quite a deal there. It's unbelievable.
250 miles separate Dallas and Houston, but the two cities are linked by a ferocious hunger for football, fueled by a pair of quarterbacks who possess two distinctly different star qualities in the Lone Star State. Houston's already glittering Warren Moon, and Dallas's soon-to-be shining Troy Aikman. Neither, however, has had a meteoric rise to Texas success. For years, Dallas has been searching for a quarterback to fill the shoes of a legend. In 1989, the Cowboys made Troy Aikman the first overall pick in the draft, and the young quarterback learned that being the center of attention can sometimes be as difficult as, well, finding your own center. One had to wonder how soon the youngster would grow into the position and how much heat he could take in the process. Aikman was pushed around through the worst Cowboy season in nearly 30 years.
My rookie season was extremely tough. We had a lot of new faces throughout the whole season, and 1-15, it was just a very tough year, both physically and emotionally.
Throughout 1989, Aikman and the Cowboys simply couldn't get a grip on winning. But head coach Jimmy Johnson never lost faith in his young signal caller. And when the Cowboys traded their other highly regarded quarterback, Steve Walsh, in 1990, the job of guiding Dallas back to contention was left solely to Aikman. Hungry to get back on the winning track, the young Cowboys rallied around their young quarterback.
Aikman back to throw. Has time. Going for the end zone. He's got a man. It's caught for a touchdown. First down, play action, bootleg left. Throw it on the run. Novacek at the 10-yard line. To the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Aikman back to throw. Deep drop. Looks to the end zone. Throws. Caught. Touchdown, Dallas.
Dallas became the most pleasant surprise of the 1990 season, and Cowboy fans had found a new hero. By using his legs to run out of trouble and his arm to put opponents in it, Aikman led the resurgent Cowboys to within a game of the playoffs. Number 22, rookie running back Emmitt Smith helped take some pressure off of Aikman. And as the Cowboys continue to stockpile talent, the stock of their quarterback should continue to rise. Troy Aikman has endured a tough initiation into the NFL, and his ability to bounce back should serve him well throughout the 90s.
He's taken some lumps over the last couple of years, and he hasn't complained about it. A lot of guys, when they get beat up a little bit, they want to throw in the towel, or they want to take some time off or whatever. But Troy has shown that he's a tough individual, and I think those things will pay off for him in the future.
If anyone knows about toughness through adversity, it is Texas's other hungry quarterback, Houston's Warren Moon. In 1990, the 34-year-old Moon had to prepare himself to guide the Oilers' brand-new, wide-open run-and-shoot offense, the most demanding system for an NFL quarterback.
I had to rethink how I got ready for a season and got ready for a game. You know, I'm going to be throwing the ball so much more. I'm going to be taking more hits and things like that.
Get our quarterback killed! Kevin! Let me get in the rhythm. Let me get in the rhythm, all right? Jay, you got to quit making all them calls. I'm ready to go. Hey, fuck, I got to, man. The blitz was taking too long.
There were a lot of questions by me. There were a lot of questions by other teammates, a lot of questions by media, by fans. And it took some time for us to really feel comfortable about the offense and also believe in it. And once we started to believe in it, we really started to function well in it.
Let's take one down, all right? Let's put one all together and let's take one down. Wow, move! All the way! Blue 6! Check green opposite! Green opposite! Side! Hut, hut, hut!
Shotgun formation. Moon gets it, looks right, throws the football, has a man Duncan. Touchdown, Oilers!
Once he learned the system, there was simply no stopping Warren Moon.
Moon.
Very deep.
Looking deep down the middle, has the man Drew Hill. Touchdown! What a throw!
In 1990, Moon completed more passes and more attempts for more yardage and more touchdowns than any quarterback in football. Of the top 7 receivers in the AFC, 4 played in Houston, as Moon rockets were launched at a record-setting pace. Of all his incredible performances, Moon's most remarkable day came in Week 15 in Kansas City, where his 527 yards passing was the second highest single-game total in NFL history.
They bring 5. Moon with time. Now throws over the middle. Jeff Reeds, he's got it at the 40. Breaks the tackle midfield. 45-40. 30-yard line. He's going to score.
At an age when most quarterbacks' careers are winding down, Moon's is just heating up. But it is not the prospect of rewriting record books that will feed the hunger of Moon or his young Dallas counterpart in the years to come.
I've accomplished a lot of individual goals, but until you win that ultimate game, the Super Bowl, I think your career is a little bit incomplete.
I think it's important for me, for our team, for the people in Dallas, for us to get to the playoffs and then get into some Super Bowls. And I think with the talent that we have right now and the talent that we're going to get through the draft, that we should be able to do that.
Two Texas gunslingers, one a veteran marksman, the other a young cowboy with an itchy trigger finger. Both have roughed out some tough rides before blazing new frontiers through the Lone Star State. So, saddle up, partners. The 90s could be a wild adventure in the wild, wild West, with two hungry sharpshooters gunning for a championship. And who knows? I reckon someday the Super Bowl just might be big enough for both of them. Super Bowl 25 was poetic justice for Buffalo's Thurman Thomas. A running back that no one seemed interested in just 3 years earlier used the NFL's biggest stage to show the rest of the football world just what it was missing out on. There was a time that many teams considered Thomas a question mark. In the Super Bowl, he answered the doubters with an exclamation point as he rushed for 135 yards in a losing effort. Thomas officially made his mark as one of football's shining stars, and he may now be recognized as the most well-rounded player at a position that features a variety of hungry backs of all shapes and sizes. Some running backs are built more like linebackers, such as Kansas City's 260-pound wrecking ball, Christian Okoye.
DeVert hands off to Okoye, who runs laterally, blockers ahead, he's past the 5. Tucks in, spinning in, touchdown Okoye!
In San Diego, the Chargers have unleashed a 250-pound bull in Marion Butts. While in Detroit, the diminutive Barry Sanders may not pack as much wallop, but he's just as painful to NFL defenders. The 5'8" Sanders stood tall as the NFL rushing champion in 1990.
Stepping to his right, Galliano dumps it off to Barry Sanders, gets away. To the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Barry makes a move, dives, and is he in?
Touchdown.
Touchdown is the call.
That is a great run.
It's hard to imagine now that when Sanders played in college for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, he wasn't the big shot on campus right away. Instead, Sanders played for 2 years behind number 34, another thoroughbred back named Thurman Thomas. Thomas was a bright college star who was projected as a first-round draft choice. But a knee injury suffered before his junior season made some people doubt Thomas's durability, and suddenly the runner's football future became very uncertain. No team was willing to take a chance on picking Thomas in the first round of the 1988 draft, and he waited until Buffalo selected him in round 2.
I knew the type of talent and type of abilities that I had, and the only reason that I would go later was because of my knee. But, you know, right now at this stage, I look at that right now, it's just a great motivation for me. Every team that I go out and play against, you know, it's an extra motivation for me to go out and do well against that team because they're one of the teams that passed me up.
Thomas's hunger to prove himself to the rest of the league has made him a portrait of determination and a picture of success. In his first 3 NFL seasons, Thomas has run roughshod over all those teams that passed him by. In 1990, he led the AFC in rushing, and continued to perfect his specialty of getting to the end zone.
And a run by Thurman Thomas to the right, cutting back, driving through, breaking a tackle, still on his feet at the 20, at the 15, down to the 10-yard line, breaking down to the 5, and in for the touchdown on a spectacular run by Thurman Thomas.
What has made Thomas so truly dangerous is his additional threat as a receiver out of the backfield. In 1989 and again in 1990, he led the NFL in total yards from scrimmage, making him the most versatile and valuable running back in football today.
Kelly to throw. He lets it fly. He's got him wide open. Thurman Thomas at midfield. Down to the 40, down to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Thurman Thomas.
I voted for Thurman Thomas to be the player of the year because he does so much. He's a guy that changes the Buffalo Bills. Kelly gets a lot of notoriety, but I think the key ingredient is the running back with the knee brace that everybody said, don't draft Jair because he's hurt. But he didn't listen.
Here is Thurman Thomas. He breaks through at the 30, at the 35, 40, 45, midfield, one man to beat. He's at the 30, he's at the 20, he's at the 10, at the 5, touchdown, Thurman Thomas.
There's no question that he's among the best backs in football right now. And I think the thing that makes him so great is that he can take it up another level in big games. And he's got great ability, balance, speed, all of the things that are evident to the naked eye. But the thing that you don't see, unless you're around him on a day-to-day basis, is that great desire to win and that absolutely fanatical desire to be the best he can be in big ball games. That's what sets him apart.
Thomas's hunger to excel in big games first surfaced in the 1989 playoffs in Cleveland, where he tied Kellen Winslow's single-game playoff record with 13 catches. In 1990, the Bills needed a late-season victory over Miami to clinch their division. And with backup quarterback Frank Reich starting in place of the injured Jim Kelly, the Bills called on Thomas to shoulder the offensive load.
Double left, right, 18 explode balls. Now you got some room out there to operate. We can stretch that a little bit for you, okay?
Thomas is the lone setback again. And he runs left again and goes up the middle and bounces off a tackler and runs in for a touchdown.
Thomas carried the ball 30 times for 154 yards to help the Bills clinch their third straight division title. And in the playoffs, the runaway Bill continued his Buffalo stampede. Thomas rushed for more than 100 yards and at least one score in each of the Bills' 3 postseason games, including his spectacular performance in Super Bowl 25.
There's Kelly shotgunning a running play. Thurman Thomas breaks it at the 25, still on his feet at the 20, gets down to the 15, the 10, the 5, and scores! Thurman Thomas!
Football's best big game back may also possess one of the game's biggest hearts, as Thurman Thomas was hungry enough to prove his skeptics wrong. And now the running back that no one seemed to want has found a permanent home in the hearts of Buffalo. Some say they are the most gifted players on the field. Men whose artistic abilities are displayed by the single element that defines their position. They are the receivers, thoroughbreds that streak down the field, hungrily advancing with one purpose. The receiver must overcome tremendous odds, odds that place their success against the defense's failure, odds that require completion of the line's blocking and the quarterback's throw before his work can even begin. And if he is fortunate enough to get the ball within his grasp, the receiver must then plot a safe course through the secondary, seeking that one glorious moment that is the lifeblood of the receiver. In recent years, no one has overcome these odds as well as San Francisco's Jerry Rice. In his 92 games as a pro, Rice has already scored 83 touchdowns. He is the prototype receiver, possessing the hunger necessary to excel today. Rice is agile, strong, and swift.
Of course, in the last few years, it's been a greater emphasis upon speed.
During the 1980s, Roy Green was the classic model of the speed receiver. But today, it's a whole new ball game.
But I still think that a receiver can come in and do a great job and be one of the great ones without being a 4-2 sprinter, that kind of thing.
The race may not be to the swift in the 90s.
If you watch NASCAR, the fastest car doesn't always win. Sometimes you got to rub fenders.
Jack drops straight back, looks, throws to the sideline. It's caught by Rison. Rison is hit, struggles, trying to get back, reverses, comes to the near side, breaks it back up the sideline, out of bounds, touchdown! He didn't go out of bounds. Rison scores!
I think if your fenders get rubbed and you get bumped around, they knock you out of your lane. The bottom line is you keep on trucking, you keep on going.
As an Indianapolis Colt, Andre Rison kept the pedal to the metal despite playing on the AFC's second worst ranked passing offense. He caught more passes than any other first-year receiver and was named to the NFL's all-rookie team. But just when it seemed Rison was in sync with the Colts' passing game, he was traded to Atlanta, a team that hadn't had a winning record in 9 years.
Well, I definitely want to be the best I can be, but hopefully I can give the team 100% and, put the Atlanta Falcons back on the map and, we can get to winning.
Rison adapted well to his new team and quickly helped Atlanta get to winning in his first game of the season.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Rison unveiled his duck walk and helped Atlanta find victory again in its next home game, when he caught 10 passes and scored 2 touchdowns, including the game winner.
Has time in the pocket, throwing to the right end zone, and it is touchdown, Atlanta! Andre Rison doing his dance in the end zone. The Falcons have taken the lead.
In 1990, Rison danced 10 times.
And he's going to throw a long one, and the receiver is there, and it is complete in the 25, the 20. Rison's going to score.
He caught 82 passes for over 1,200 yards, second highest in the NFL. Rison's perseverance is helping the Falcons overcome their losing ways. Like Rison, there are several hungry young receivers that are able and ready to help their team prevail throughout the 90s. Anthony Miller, Willie Flipper Anderson, and Rob Moore are emerging stars that have conquered adversity to find success. Due to childhood health problems, doctors advised the Jets' Rob Moore to stop playing sports, but Moore never quit, and in 1990 he was named to the NFL's all-rookie team. After catching only 11 passes as a rookie in 1988, the Rams' Flipper Anderson didn't give up and put together back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in 89 and 90. In the Tinseltown of L.A., Anderson has become a shining star. As a youth, the Chargers' Anthony Miller didn't play football. He attended college on a track scholarship, but despite his late introduction to the game, Miller was named a starter in the Pro Bowl following just his 3rd NFL season. Moore, Anderson, and Miller, 3 hungry young wideouts that triumphed in the NFL. But in 1990, it was the AFC's leading receiver that rose from obscurity to find the greatest success. His name is Haywood Jeffries, a #1 pick whose talents had been overlooked for several years.
Well, we drafted him in the first round, I think 4 years ago, and a lot of people didn't know a whole lot about him, but in practicing with him every day and seeing the type of ability he had, I just got excited every time I got a chance to throw him the football because I know what he could do once I threw it up his way.
Once Moon threw it Jeffries' way, the results were spectacular.
Has a man open. It is caught in the end zone. Touchdown Oilers. Haywood Jeffries.
Drops back 5 steps, sets up, throwing deep down the middle for Jeffries. Touchdown, Haywood Jeffries.
Moon wants to throw, looks right, now looks left, now lofts the bomb way downfield. Touchdown Oilers!
He's a big, tall guy. He's about 6'3", about 205 pounds. He has good leaping ability where I can throw the ball up high sometimes, and he'll just jump up and catch it over anybody he's playing against.
Jeffries uses his long arms to soar over defenders and steal passes. And in the final week of the 1990 season, Jeffries rose to the occasion again, scoring the final touchdown to earn the AFC receiving crown and give the Oilers a playoff berth.
I was having trouble getting out of bed in the morning because my back...
Sneaking past defenders describes Sterling Sharpe. No receiver in NFL history has caught more passes in their first 3 seasons than Sharpe has, and now he's Green Bay's weapon of choice.
We have a game plan that we try to get the ball to him as many times as we can, and I enjoy throwing to him. It makes a lot of things happen.
Sharpe is now the target of every opposing defense, but he has hung tough, and his success hasn't gone to his head.
No, I'm not a showman in the end zone. I've been there before, so I kind of act like I've been there before.
Sharpe's been there before, and he'll be there again.
Long down the sideline to Sterling Sharpe. Caught it. 45-40, 35-30. He's gone. 25-20, 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown for Sterling Sharpe.
Mikowski on first down from the 24. He's back to throw. Heaves it over the middle. Diving right was made. Sterling Sharpe down the left side across the 40. He's going to go all the way to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. 76 yards to the score.
In 1990, Sharpe had to adapt to playing with 3 different starting quarterbacks. While passing rhythms constantly changed, Sharpe remained consistent, snagging 67 passes for over 1,100 yards. Blessed with dexterity and suppleness of hand, speeding to the ever-widening distance, Sharpe's style is of the receiver, the classic definition of today's pass catchers, men who are overcoming odds and hungry to make their mark in the 90s.
My name is John Neal.
Let's go, buddy, together. Let's go, buddy, up. Let's work together now. Let's go, damn it. All right, hey, let's go, man. You want a piece of that championship? Put it in here.
We're going to do it again. We're going to have to do it again. Slap. Off. It's a draw. 34. 4.
Life on the football field is a constant battle, a weekly struggle to take on new challenges and beat new odds. But life on the sidelines can be just as grueling, for it is the head coach who must instill the hunger that drives players to overcome their obstacles.
Right here.
And every Sunday provides a new battle of emotions.
Get the ball. Get the ball. Get the ball. Get the ball. Get the ball.
Cover the ball. Hey, tell Jamie to cover the ball. He's still not covering that ball.
Hey, it isn't because you didn't go down there hard, you just didn't handle your lanes correct, okay? It isn't because you didn't go down hard, just got to take them on.
Jamie! Jamie!
Billy! Billy! I got him. Billy! 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 Hey, Billy! Billy!
Rock! Kevin! Rock! Kevin! Rock!
Get off the field. Get off the field. Hurry up. Get off the field. Get off the field. Get off. Go, Rosie. Get off the field. Get off the field.
Come on, don't lose your poise out here.
Joe Patton, gotta get Joey.
Don't lose your poise. Joe, don't get in any fights out there.
Hey, Ricky! Come here, I want to tell you something. Come here. Now listen to me real quick. I don't care. I'll tell you, you get in a fight and you get thrown out of this game, you're going home for good, okay? Just so you know.
Get ready to go up.
Ball!
Brilliant!
Yes!
You guys did not go up.
Come on, Eric, get him going. Get a little life in the defense. Kenny Harvey, let's get a little life out there. Let's go, defense. Let's get some life in our pants right here. Let's go.
Okay, fellas? Hey, fellas, this is what you work all off season for. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that.
Settle down. We got to come back and win the game now.
Tell him we're
want to get a good drive right here and ice the baby. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Let's get a good off. Hey, we're not going to go into a shell. We want to hit this one. We're going to open it up, close it down. You know what I mean? We're not going to stop doing the things we do.
We're going to run this ball right down their throat. We may throw a couple in here, but we're going to jam it right down their throat.
We got a chance to win the ball game right here, Larry.
We need one turnover. One turnover right now, and we're in business. Come on, right here we win it, man. Right on the front lines. Right in the middle is where we win it. Right here is where we find out whether we're champs.
If you're ever going to get a blitz, this is it, right here. If you're ever going to get one, this is it.
Oh, boy.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry.
We better hurry.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Knock it out of there!
Great lead block, Stevens breaks loose. Up the right sideline, still on his feet, touchdown!
He's looking, he's gonna run, he jumps, he's out!
Complete to Givens, leaps into the end zone, somersaults, touchdown Oilers!
He dives in, touchdown!
He throws it upstairs toward Hall, he's got it, touchdown! Look out, throws the hit to the end zone! Touchdown, Stanley Morgan! Goes down toward the end zone, Eddie Brown! Touchdown!
Looks and throws a long bomb, and he's got a receiver running out there, touchdown!
The handoff goes to JB. Wiggles his way straight down to the 45 to the 40.
Run,
30 is going to go.
He's by the 40. He's out in open field, the 30, the 20. He's gone. Sideline, 10, 5. Touchdown.
Runs to his left. They're all after him. He has 1 man to beat. He's got the punt of the beat. He's running it down along the near sideline. Kissing goodbye. Deion Sanders. Gone.
Hand off to Smith, he's across the 2, he's across the goal.
Anderson gets by Jordan to the 5 to the end zone. They hit him over the ball. To the 5. Get there. Touchdown, Tampa. Wow.
There's a certain hunger within every individual that compels them to be the best possible player that they can be. There's a certain competitive drive that comes from not being satisfied.
In order to overcome adversity in the NFL, there is indeed no room to be satisfied. Greatness only comes to those who are dedicated enough to make the extra sacrifice, hungry enough to go the extra mile. It is the hungriest teams that are able to beat the odds and become champions. It is the hungriest players who can turn doubters into believers. In the 1990s, if more players, coaches, and teams hope to overcome the odds and soar to the game's greatest heights, they must be the NFL's hungriest men.
You have to be hungry to play the game. You have to want to be one of the best.
You want that big play stuff, don't you? I want it.
Hey, we can walk off the field with our heads up, huh?
There's so many guys that are gifted with great athletic ability, but it takes a lot more than that once you get into this game. And I think the guys that make it are the guys that are more hungry.
Yes, sir! That away, Trey! Yeah, baby! Hey! That away, that away, that away! All right! That away, Michael! Way to go! Way to go! All right! We got it! Oh, I love you! Okay! Woo! Woo! Way to go, Simon! Nice going!